Hello again, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to my vlog. Oh, no, I'm not doing this for my vlog, but I'm doing this for our lecture for today. So, how are you guys? Hope you can still follow with our discussions with our lecture, with the previous discussions that we had before. I have uploaded two videos. First is the chapter one, first part, and then the second video that is the continuation of chapter one. So that is the second video. And then for now, we will proceed with chapter two, discussing the normalization. So how to normalize an unnormalized form or table. So in this topic, okay, after we discuss this topic, you shall be able to understand the importance of normalization. Okay? And then identify the dependencies from the given table. I have here actually on my list, converting tables into various normal forms, then evaluate tables after normalization for correctness and lossless decomposition. And then we'll be able to understand some more dependencies and learn how to normalize tables. All right. So just to give you an overview for with the key terms that we'll be using in this discussion. So we have here the Boy's Code normal form, or B, C, and F, but we will not discuss that anymore. We will only discuss the first, second, and third normal form. So this is a special case of the third normal form. All right, and then we will be talking about first normal form, and normalization, second normal form, semantic rules, and a third normal form. Okay, so let us proceed with the first discussion for today, so that is normalization. So what is normalization? Normal. Okay, when you do the process to normalize, so that is normalization. So it is a method for organizing data elements in a database into tables. Another is, it is a database design technique that reduces data redundancy and eliminates undesirable characteristics like insertion, update, deletion, anomalies. Okay? So in doing normalization, you are going to avoid the anomalies in inserting, updating, and deleting of records. And then you decompose, or yes, you eliminate duplicates into a record or into a table. All right. So normalization, it was first developed by Edgar Frank, or EF code, in 1972. Okay. So the major aim of relational database design is to group attributes into relations to minimize data redundancy and thereby reduce the file storage space. So as we discussed before, if records are being stored multiple times, diba sabi natin, kumakain yan ng memory. Okay? So, kapag gano'n, paulit-ulit yung record, of course, yung memory na nauubos na. Okay? So, normalization aims to reduce the file storage. Okay? So, why or what is the need for normalization? So, as you can see here, this is a form, actually a dream house lease. Ito, nagpaparenta ng bahay. This is a sample form. Actually, para siyang linista lang na ganyan, tinype lang na ganyan. Okay? So this is actually a unnormalized form. So as you can see, sa isang table, and then nandun na lahat. So, bakit ba natin, saan ba natin gagamitin ang normalization? Okay? If we have normal, we have also abnormal. No, I'm just kidding. It's unnormalized. Okay? So we have unnormalized form. Okay? So doon natin gagamitin yung normalization. So from unnormalized form or unnormalized tables, we we're going to normalize these tables or these forms and then to come up with a normal one. Okay, so what is a normalized form or UNF? So this is a table that contains one or more repeating groups. As we said, a table that contains a record or records are stored in multiple times. Okay, so we begin the process of normalization by first transferring the data from the source, okay, into table format, which are with rows and columns. As you can see here, this is a dream home list. This is in a single, let's say, form. So we need to transform this form into table, just like this. So parang we have here the client. Okay, so as you can see here in this table, client with ID number or with client number CR76, okay, the name of that client is John K. Okay, now we have here the property number. Okay, property, let's say a condo unit or a house, just like that. Okay, so PG, okay, one property, okay, the address of PG4 is this one, 6 Lawrence Street, Glasgow. Okay, and it is being owned by Tina Murphy. The owner number is CO40. Okay, oh, I hope you can still follow. Okay, then another, John K also rented PG16, which is located at 5 Navarre Drive. Okay, owned by Tony Shaw. Okay, with an owner number CO93. Okay, so parang dalawa ang nirentahan ni John K. Okay, for Alin Stewart naman, with client number CR56, tatlo ang kanyang narentahan. These are PG4, okay, PG36, PG16. So yun yung mga narentahan niya. And then, yung may-ari. So as you can see also in the table, or yes, it presents the date where they start renting the property, and then the rent finished, and then the rent per month. Okay? So eto yan. So nakalista lang dito, and halo-halo sa isang table, nandun na lahat. It lists the client name, the property, or the information about the property, information about the rent. Yes, we have here the amount, and then information about the owner of the property. So parang, let's say, sa isang cabinet, andun na lahat. Underwear, una pa talaga underwear, clothes, your pants, halo-halo, nandun. So parang yun ang nangyari. So this is a normalized form. A normalized form. Again, and why a normalized form? Okay, because as you can see, 6 Lawrence Street, Glasgow is being listed here how many times? PG4, 2 times. PG16, 2 times. Okay, Tina Murphy, 2 times. Tony Shaw, 3 times. So there are repeating data. Okay, so this data or table is in a normalized form. Okay, so we will try to normalize this later on as we proceed to our discussion. Okay, now, when doing normalization, these are the things that will be avoided. Okay, duplication of data. When the table is being normalized, no more duplication of data. No more repeating data. Okay, this wherein same data is listed in multiple lines of the database, just like what you can see here. The property name or address we have here, okay, It is being listed multiple times, 2 times, 3 times, ganun. Okay? So, when this form is being normalized, okay, duplication of data is being avoided or avoided. Okay. Another is, aside from the duplication of data, insertion anomaly. Ma-avoid din natin yung anomalya. What's anomaly? Okay. Nag-insert ka ng, just for example, in an enrollment system. Okay. Now, binigyan mo siya ng subjects without entering the details about the students. So, there is insertion anomaly. Wherein, dapat, mag-insert ka muna ng info about the students bago mo siya bigyan ng subjects para alam nila kung sino yung estudyante na yon. Okay? Merong insertion anomaly, anomalya kung hindi ka muna nag-insert and then binigyan mo siya ng subjects, sino yung estudyanteng binigyan mo ng subject? So, there is insertion anomaly. So, ito, na-avoid natin. Okay? Insertion anomaly. So, wala nang anomaly mangyayari or insertion anomaly if the data or your table is being normalized. Okay? Kasi nga, it requires first the insertion here, or you need to add first a student before giving him subjects. Okay? Next is deletion anomaly. Just like with insertion, kung merong anomalya, meron ding deletion anomaly. Just for example, you deleted the, okay, ito, nagbigay ka, you type this name of the student, then you assign subjects to that student. Now, you deleted this student, the info about the student. Now, nandun pa din yung records niya. Ngayon, deletion anomaly, anong nangyari? Who is this student na inassign mo ng subjects? Sino to? Kasi dinilit mo eh. Okay? So, when your form or table is being normalized, it will not allow you to delete this student, or hindi naman, pwedeng i-allow ka niya. Kaya lang, if you delete this student, records must be, or all related records will also be deleted. Para, yun nga, walang anomalya mangyayari. Okay? And then we have here update or modification anomaly. Updating a record means changing all related records. So when your form is being normalized, okay, when you update a record about the student, lahat na ng forms or lahat na ng tables nag-update na rin. Nag-modify na rin. Just for example, changing the spelling of your name, okay, it will also change the spelling of your name throughout the records. Hindi yung may anomaly nangyayari na you only modify the spelling of your name in this table and then the rest hindi na siya nag-change. No. Okay? Mangyayari yun kapag unnormalized yung form natin. So when doing normalization, this can be avoided. Duplication of data, insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and update or modification anomaly. Okay? So let's proceed. So let's try to normalize this unnormalized form. So we will proceed with the first normal form. So from bakit abnormal? From a normalized form, we will transform this to the first normal form, and after transforming to first normal form, that first normal form will transform it to the second normal form, and then from second normal form, we will transform it to the next normalization, which is the third normal form, and that is actually considered as normalized. Third normal form. So, okay? Kasi meron pa 4th, 5th, 6th normal form. Or, yes. Pero, third normal form is considered as normalized na. So, we will stop in the third normal form. So, what is the first, or what is, yes, first normal form, or 1NF? So, it is a relation in which the intersection of each row and column contains one and only one value. parang, yun nga, unnormalized. Now, to transform the unnormalized table into first normal form, okay, we need to identify the primary key. So what is the primary key, or what is a primary key? Anyone? Anyone? Wala? Wala sasagot? Okay. What is a key? Okay, a key in SQL is a value used to identify a record in a table uniquely. Just for example, here in school, your primary key is your ID number. That is, or which is uniquely attached to your name. So every time you will have a transaction in school, they will just type your ID number and then that's it. They'll find your record. Okay? Wala kang kapareho ng ID number. Okay? So parang yung driver's license. Okay? The primary key for your driver's license is your driver's license number. If I'm correct, kung number ang tawag doon. Okay? So, unique. So, that is a primary key to identify the row. So, first row, first student, ito, okay? Andito yung ID number niya. So, that ID number will identify the first row, first record. Okay? Next row. Ito yung ID number niya. Okay? Ito siya. Okay? So, that ID number is considered as the primary key. Okay? Yes? Primary key is a single column value used to identify a database record uniquely. Okay? As we have discussed earlier, it has the following attributes. A primary key cannot be null. What is null? Huwag mo sabihing null ka. Okay? Hindi dapat empty. May value dapat yan. So, in a database, it will not allow you to insert a record if the primary key is null or empty. A primary key value must be unique. Okay? Must be unique. So, if you're trying to enter an ID number which is already in a database, it will prompt the ID number already exists. If you are trying to create an email address, Gmail, kumbaga, and if that email is already in the record of the dun sa Gmail na yon, it will prompt you that that email address is was already taken. So it will not allow you to create your email account with the same email account or email name. Okay? Yung at gmail.com. Okay? So it must be unique. Again, unique, walang katulad. The primary key values should rarely be changed. Ito, hindi dapat palaging napapalitan. Just, ano bang palaging napapalitan? Let's say, do not use age as your primary key. Okay? Huwag niyong gamitin ang age as the primary key. Kasi every now and then, every month, wow! Every year, yearly, nagpapalit ng value yung age. So, that could be, or should it be your primary key. So, if you are creating a table, make sure that the primary key you'll be choosing is, should really be changed. Hindi dapat napapalitan, or hindi palagi ang napapalitan kung ano. Okay? The primary key must be a given value when a new record is inserted. Okay? It must be given a value when a new record is inserted. When you insert a record, okay, bago dapat, unique. So if you insert, if you add student or new student, okay, nag-ano lang naman yan, yung ID number nyo sa school to, let's say, 2021, yung year ngayon. So, 21-00001. Next student, 21-00002. Third student na magpapa-ID or mag-enroll, 21-00003. So, para siyang nag-i-increment. And then, of course, those are unique. Okay, so if we have a primary key, we also have composite key. What is the difference of primary key and composite key? So in primary key, a single, yes, I know you are single, a single, tawag doon, column or field na i-represent niya yung whole row. So that is the primary key. While composite key is a primary key, yes, it is a primary key composed of multiple columns. So yung kanina, single column lang. And then pwede na i-represent niya yung buong row. Ito, composite key, you need at least 2 columns to represent or to identify the record. 2 or more columns. Just for example, in our database, we have 2 people with the same name, Robert, Phil, but they live in different places. Okay, as you can see here, our composite key here is the name and then the address. It is considered as composite key. Why? Kasi dalawa, 1, 2. Okay, if we set the name as the primary key, paano na? As we have mentioned, a primary key must be unique. Robert, Phil, pareho sila ng pangalan. It must be unique. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na dapat i-allow si Robert, Phil na pangalawa na ito. Magkaiba naman sila, oh. Magkaibang tao yan, pero magkapareho lang yung pangalan. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin? So, instead of primary key, use composite key. So, ito, pangalan plus the address. So, ito, magkaiba. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka pwede mag-insert dito ng Robert Phil and then 3rd Street 34 ulit. Kasi, maduduplicate na yung record. So your database should not allow you to insert the same record with the same name plus the same address. Maaring pwede din na Robert Phil and then iba yung address, i-accept niya yan. Kasi composite key yung name and then address. Okay? So we require the full name and address to identify a record uniquely. Okay? So that is a composite key. Again, primary key, just a single column to represent the whole row, and the composite key, 2 or more columns, okay, to represent the whole row. Okay, after identifying a primary key, next step you will do to transform the unnormalized form into the first normal form is identify the repeating groups. And then, after identifying the repeating groups, you need to remove repeating groups. So what are these repeating groups? Okay, this is an attribute or group of attributes within a table that occurs with multiple values for a single occurrence of the nominated key attributes for that table. Okay, as you can see, ito, client rental, ito, the same table, ito, client rental. So parang ang ginawa lang natin, linagyan lang natin ng per record. Parang ito, naka-merge kasi yan. So parang first row, the same, second row, so yun ang nangyari. So ito yon. Dinuplicate lang natin yan para magawa natin na naka-table, naka-row, column and then rows talaga. Okay? So, we need to identify the repeating groups. So, what are these repeating groups? So, property number. As you can see, property number are being appeared multiple times. 4, 16, 16, yun. So, property number is considered as repeating group. Another is address. 6 Lawrence Street, Glasgow, 6, the same. Rent finish, okay. Rent start, rent, ito. Rent owner name, since they have more values compared to the primary key client. Okay, so these are the repeating groups. So we need to remove the repeating groups. Okay, so identify the repeating groups. So these are the repeating groups. And then, okay, we need to remove them from the table. Okay, So, remove repeating groups by entering appropriate data in the empty. Yun yung ginawa natin kanina ha. So, yung from the table above, yung empty ito, so, linagyan lang natin para magiging row talaga yan. After identifying the repeating groups, you need to remove the repeating groups by placing the repeating data into the separate relation or separate table. Assign a primary key to the new relation and copy the original key. Kanina, ito, as you can see here, this is our primary key. Kasi unique. CR76, kay John Key yan. Ito yung about data niya. CR56, unique. Kasi hindi na ulit dito. And then, ito yung data niya. Pero ngayon, bago natin i-convert or para ma-convert natin into first normal form, ay kailangan natin gawin ito. Okay? So, para maging per row kasi yung record niya. So, ngayon, we need to remove the repeating groups. So, as you can see here, say CR76, this is the primary key, which is CR76 is John K, 56 is Alan Stewart. Okay? So, ito yung first table natin. Now, i-separate down natin yung repeating groups. So, bali, ito yung tinanggal natin. So, i-separate down natin ito, repeating groups. So, andito. Sineparate nga natin. And then, okay, copy the original key. We need to copy the original key. So, ito yon. Ito, plus yung repeating groups. So, ito yung repeating groups, and then ito, linagay natin yung copy ng original key. So, yun yung step number 2. Again, step number 1, remove the repeating groups. Okay? Fill up natin yung mga empty, ganyan. And then, separate natin yung repeating groups. Then, maglagay tayo ng copy ng key. So, this form is already in the first normal form. Now, this is not yet normalized. Ita-transform pa natin yung first normal form into the second normal form. So, how to do it? So, transform the first normal form into the second normal form, which is a relation that is in first normal form, and every non-primary key attribute is fully functionally dependent on the primary key. So, applies the relation with composite keys. That is tables with a primary key composed of 2 or more attributes. So, na-discuss natin kanina ha, yung composite key. It comprises of 2 or more attributes. A relation with a single attribute primary key is automatically in 2 or second normal form. A relation with primary key. So, client is already in the second normal form. So, this is now okay. Okay na to. Ang problema natin, this is not yet in the second normal form. So, we will transform this property rental owner into second normal form. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, to transform the first normal table to second normal form, again, the first form client is already in a second normal form. So, applies, asan na tayo? Remove partial dependent attributes from the table by placing them in a new table along with a copy of their determinants. So, what is partial dependent? Or what is this dependency or dependence? Ano ba mga to? Okay. We have here the terms, full functional dependency, determinants, and partial dependency. Okay. Full functional dependency, it is full functional if removing of any primary key attributes in a dependency not being sustained anymore. So parang kapag tinanggal mo yung isang primary key kung saan sila naka-attach, wala nang silbi. So, ibig sabihin, naka-full functional dependency yan. Okay. Okay? Partial dependency, if it is partially dependent, if dependency still holds, even there is a removal of any primary key attributes. So, as you can see here, okay, in this figure, rent, rent owner, owner name, and then property address or P address. Yung arrow nila ay nakaturo dun sa property number. Property number. Yan. Okay. Rent start, rent finish. Ang arrow nila ay nakaturo dito sa pangalawang sa box dun sa outside. Ibig sabihin, yung rent start and rent finish, kailangan mo yung dalawa, which is the client number and then the property number. Ibig sabihin, yung rent start and rent finish are full functional dependency. Kasi, what if tinanggal mo yung property number? Isipin lang natin ha, ang naiwan lang dito ay client number, walang property number. Kailan mag-start ang rent niya? Ano yung property na i-rent niya kung wala yung property? Magre-rent siya ng bahay pero wala ngayong bahay. Okay? Kasi tinanggal natin yung bahay dito. So, wala siyang i-rent. So, useless yung rent start at rent finish. So, rent start and rent finish are considered as full functional dependency. How about P address, rent, rent owner, and owner name? Owner number and owner name. These fields are partial dependent to property number. Just for example, if you remove the client number, okay, wala yung client number dito, wala yung primary key na client number, na si client number, ano yung client nila? CR76 ay John K. Okay, tinanggal natin yan. Still, nandun pa rin. Si property number, andun pa rin yung address niya kasi hindi naman nawala eh. Nandun pa din yung amount per month. Pagmamayari pa rin ni yan. So, partial dependent ang mga to. Kasi naka-partial dependent lang sila sa isang primary key. Ito, full functional kasi dun sa dalawa, hindi pwedeng matanggal yung isa doon. So, nakadepende ito sa dalawa. So, hindi maaaring mag-start ang rent kung wala yung client. Sino ang magre-rent kung walang client? Nandun nga yung property, pero paano mag-start yung rent? Paano mag-end yung finish, yung rent, kung walang client? So, ito, kailangan nila yung dalawa. Okay? Partial dependency. And then we have here a term, functional dependency, a constraint between two attributes or two sets of attributes. If, meron pala tayo dito, if functional dependent yung CNAME. Why? Dependent on client number which is in the same entity. So parang ito. Ito, nakadepende dito which is in the same table. So that is functional dependency. Determinants, the attributes on the left and right left hand of the arrow in a functional dependency. So parang sa ito, yan, client number, kumbaga yung fields niya, name, age, yan. Kung meron tayo niyan. So those are the determinants. So in transforming the first normal form into the second normal form, you need to, okay? You need to what? Remove partial dependence. So what are the partial dependents here? Partial dependence, P address, rent, owner number, and then owner name. So these are the fields which are partial dependent attributes. So anong gagawin natin? Tanggalin natin, remove. And then, aside from removing, placing them in a new table. We will not just remove, but isa-separate natin into a new table along with a copy of their determinant. Okay, as I said, determinant, okay, maintindihan natin mamaya kung ano yung determinant na yan. Though na-explain natin kanina. Okay, how? How to transform this into that. Okay, so we have here, as I said, we have here, this client table is already in the second normal form. So no worries about this, no problem. Now, ano nangyari? Partial dependent ang tatanggalin natin. So ano yung partial dependent? So P address, rent, rent owner. So ito, address, rent, owner number, owner name. tinanggal natin sa table. So, ito yung dating table natin. So, ibig sabihin, tatanggalin natin ang mga yan. Yan. Okay? So, tinanggal nga natin ito. And then, ano nangyari? Ano nangyari? So, ito nga, natanggal na. Okay, tinanggal na natin doon, plus, nag-assign pa tayo ng, mag-assign tayo later on pala, ng primary key. So, parang ito ang determinant, naka-assign, naka-depende sila dito sa property number. So, ito, naka-assign sila sa property number. Okay? So, as you can see here, P address, rent, owner name, owner number lang. Yun lang. Yun lang tatanggalin natin. Kaso, 1, 2, 3, 4, kaso, binigay pa natin yung, or kinopya pa natin yung property number. Ito yung determinant. So nandun na. Okay? So, we have here the client, another table, the rental. Kayo na bahala magbigay ng pangalan ng table. Then make sure that the name of the table is related or meaningful or descriptive to the value kung ano yung nandun. Just for example, client. Yes, we all know, without reading the content, I know that this table contains about the client. Okay, rental, this table contains about the info about rentals. Okay, property owner, yun. Medyo hindi pa ito normalized. So, this is in the second normal form. Yun yung ginawa natin. Ha? We remove the partial dependents. Next. Ito na. Last na. We will proceed or transform the second normal form into the third normal form. A relation that is in the first and second normal form and in which a non-primary key attribute is transitively dependent on the primary key. Ano daw? Ewan. Makinig ka ito. Okay. To transform the second normal form into the third normal form, you need to remove the transitive dependent attributes by placing attributes in a new relation along with the copy of their determinant. Ano ba ang transitive dependent na yan? Kanina pa yan. Ano ba yan? When a non-primary key attribute is dependent on another non-primary key. Okay. Yun pala yun. Okay. So, ano dito? Saan dito ang transitive dependent? When a non-primary key is dependent on another non-primary key. So, in this table, we have here, our primary key should be, or yes, this one. So, this PG4, okay, represent the whole row. Ito. PG16, i-represent yung whole row. Ito. Yan. Ngayon, ang transitive dependency ay kung ang attribute ay nakadepende dun sa hindi primary key. So, just for example, so what is in our property owner, what is the field which is transitive dependent? Okay, the owner name. Ito, owner name, nakadepende kay owner number, which is owner number is not a primary key. Kasi ito ang primary key natin. Ito, owner name, nakadepende kay CO93, which is a non-primary key attribute. Kasi ang primary key natin ay ito. Okay. So those are, transitive dependency. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin? We will remove the transitive dependency. And then, by placing the attributes in a new relation along with the copy of their new determinant. So, how? So, all non-primary key attributes within the client and rental tables are functionally dependent on their primary keys. The client and rental table has no transitive dependencies and are therefore already in a third normal form, as you can see here. Okay? Third normal form na yan. Okay na? Ito,
Nakadepende ang mga yan dito sa client number at property. Okay na yan. So, wala naman kayo makikita dito na isang field ay nakadepende sa non-primary key. So, okay na rin yan. Ang problema lang natin ay sa property owner. Kasi itong owner number ay nakadepende dito sa non-primary key field natin. So, ito ang problema natin. Tatanggalin natin dyan. Okay? All the non-primary key attributes within the property owner table are functionally dependent on the primary key, with the exception of, okay, the owner name. Yun lang ang tatanggalin natin, which is dependent on owner number and non-primary key. Yun yung sinabi natin kanina. Okay. Owner, we just copied this one. Nandun na. Okay na. Third normal na form na yan. Normalized na yan. Client. Yan. And then property, rental. So pagpansinin nyo, yung iisang table natin naging 4. So from the property, ito, property owner, pinaghiwalay natin yung property, iba yung owner. Pero iniwan natin yung kung saan siya nakadepende. So ito yon. Kinopya lang natin ito, copy, and then ilagay natin sa isang table. Pero naiwan pa din itong owner number. Para malaman natin kung yung PG4 ay pagmamay-ari ni 040. CO40. Okay. So, as you can see here, the owner number and then the owner name, nasa isang table yan. So, C040, Tina Murphy. C093 ay Tony Shaw. Client, 76, John K. And yan. Okay. We have here the table which lists the property or information about the property and the owner. Ang PG4, ang address niya ay ito. Ang rent niya per month ay ito. At pagmamayari ni C040. Who is C040? We will refer to the owner table. Okay. Pagmamayari ni Tina Murphy. PG16. The address, 450 per month. And then pagmamayari ni C093, which is Tony Shaw. Basing from the owner table. Okay. So, okay na yung property natin. Owner, meron ng client. Ngayon, yung rental naman. Rental na. Ito na. Okay. Paano na yung mangyayari? Dumating ngayon si John K. Okay? Client number, C76. So, okay na yon. You don't need to store again the name here. Kasi, redundancy na yon. Mayroong redundant na nangyayari. Again, kapag normalized na yung form, ma-minimize natin yung redundancy. Okay? So, C76, okay na, nandun na. So, pwede natin i-refer sa isang table kung sino si C76. Okay, John K. yan. Property number, ito. PG4. What is PG4? Okay, ito. Ang rent niya ay 350 pag mamay-ari ni C040, which is Tina Murphy. Okay. Rent start, rent finish. So, nandun na yung record. So, kapag mag-query na tayo later on, sabihin mo lang kung ano yung query mo. Again, this is in database. You query, you type your question in a database, and then the database or DBMS will provide you the output or the answer. So, let's say, I want to see the rentals with the property owner and the name, client number, client name, and then the address. So, parang ika-connect niya yung mga yan. So, C76, kunin niya ang John K. Then, PG4, kunin niya ang address, yung rent. And then, C040, kunin niya ang Tina Murphy. And then, nandun na. So, parang result niyan ay, kapag gusto mong malaman, ay ito, yung i-display niya. Gusto mong malaman kung sino-sino yung mga client, so ito. Yan, ang magiging output niya. Kasi kapag ganito yung table mo, paulit-ulit, tinatype, yan, nandyan na nga, nandyan pa nga, nandyan na lahat. Paulit-ulit. And then ito, kumakain nga ng memory sa computer. So, puno na yung computer, yung storage. Okay? So, these tables, property, owner, client, rental, are already in the third normal form. As you can see, so parang, ito yung explanation natin sa isang Durabox, kumbaga, ano yata yan, brand yata yan. Sa isang cabinet, okay, first drawer, ang laman niya, underwear mo. Second drawer, ang laman niya, t-shirt mo. Third layer, ang laman niya, short pant. Fourth layer, ang laman niya, ganito. Okay? So, hindi yung halo-halo. So, as you can see here, property table. Okay, ang laman niya ay about sa property. Okay? Owner, pagmamayari ni yung mga owners ng property. Ito. Client, ang naka-store lang doon ay about sa client. Ito. Rental, yun na. So, about sa rentals. Okay? So, what we have discussed today is transforming unnormalized into first normal form. Okay? We need to identify the primary key. And then, next is you identify the repeating groups. Then remove the repeating groups. So that is in first normal form. Okay? Next, from the first normal form, you transform it to the second normal form. So how? Remove partial dependents. Remove partial dependents. Again, ang partial dependents, kung kapag tatanggalin mo, ay, ano ang mangyayari? Kung tatanggalin mo yung isang primary key, wala nang silbi. So, you need to remove partial dependence. And then, third normal form, remove transitive dependence or attributes. Remove transitive. Again, transitive, a field is dependent on another field which is a non-primary key. So, yun yung transitive dependent. So, taran! Nandun na. Naka-normalize na yung form natin, yung table natin. So, any question? If you have questions, madami ha questions, just type your questions in the comment section or type it or yes in our GC, then we will answer that as soon as we are online, because today it's your turn. We have here a form. As you can see, it is halo-halo. It is unnormalized. So you need to normalize this form. You need to normalize this form. For the information of everybody, we are already in activity number 5. Okay, activity number 5 na tayo ha. Baka yung iba, ngayon lang sasali, nasaan na yung activity 1 to 4? Hanapin mo kung nasaan. Okay? Kung saan ko linagay. Alright, so we have here, you need to normalize this unnormalized form. So you may place your answer in a whole sheet of paper, picturean nyo, and then send nyo sa akin, sa email address. Okay? Or, you may also use tables here in Microsoft Word, and then to normalize the table, and then attach that Microsoft Word file, and then send nyo sa email ko. Okay? So, yun lang muna for today. So, we are done with chapter 2, normalization. From unnormalized, we normalize the table. So, hindi lang pala tao ang abnormal, meron din pala sa table. Okay? Alright? So, yun muna. And then, expect maybe a quiz regarding this chapter. So, see you soon. Paalam!